Hi, this is Robin Cannon, and this is my response to the celebration of disciplines, the introduction, and part one, the inward disciplines. The first question being, what did I find most compelling about the introduction? I really loved this paragraph on page 2. Richard Foster writes, "Beginners are welcome. I too am a beginner, even and especially after a number of years of practicing every discipline discussed in this book. As Thomas Merton says, we do not want to be beginners, but let us be convinced of the fact that we will never be anything else but beginners all of our lives." I was really encouraged by that paragraph because I've had this book, I've read this book, yet I feel like I am still a beginner, and I've been tempted as I read through this to feel guilty that I should be further along in my spiritual disciplines, practice of spiritual disciplines than I am. And I was very encouraged by this statement by Richard Foster and Thomas Merton that it's okay to be a beginner and that we're going to continue to be a beginner. So I was very encouraged by that. The most compelling inward discipline, which did I find the most compelling? I I found all of them compelling, but if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with prayer. There were a couple quotes from the section on prayer that really resonated with me. There's a couple there. Prayer brings us into the deepest and highest work of the human spirit, he writes. Wow. To pray is to change. It's a great statement right there. Um, all who have walked with God have viewed prayer as the main business of their lives. Wow, that'd be a great thing to have somebody say about you, wouldn't it? That prayer was the main thing of your lives. If I had to pick something that I had a question about or something that I found troubling, I think this was also in the prayer section on page 39. He talks about how we need to start small in our praying. He talks about how it wouldn't be wise to start with Aunt Susie's arthritis, for which you've been praying for 20 years. He talks about how we tend to pray for the most difficult situations first, like cancer or MS, and that he suggests that we should perhaps start small, praying for things like colds or earaches. And I've just been wondering about that since I read that. I feel like, in my own life, that I can look back and see a tendency to not pray boldly for things because I wondered what would happen if the prayer wasn't answered the way I thought it should be answered. For example, I can think of a time when my kids were probably in elementary school and we were camping with another family, and we were all packed up, everybody was ready to go home, and the other family's car wouldn't start. And we went to church with this family. We were in small group. We were brothers and sisters in the faith. And I remember standing there with the kids thinking, we should pray. We should pray that God would heal this car, that it would start and we would go home. But I didn't. And I remember internally debating with myself, because what if we gather around that car and we pray, we've got the kids, and then the car still doesn't start? What kind of effect is that going to have on the faith of the kids? So I didn't. And it still bothers me. That was a long time ago. But I think we do that kind of thing a lot because we're not sure what God's will is. So we're afraid to pray boldly. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with Foster's advice to start small. I'd love it if any of you guys have insight on this particular topic and can clear it up for me. So that's my response, and I thank you.